My name is Lindsay Beasley, and I will be doing this informative speech over ways to save money in college. And I chose this topic because I think every college kid can benefit from learning and utilizing new ways to save money in college that go beyond scholarships and loans and things of that sort that are just commonly talked about. And I will be talking about 3 different ways that I personally that I use to save money in college, which include student discounts, buying and renting and selling textbooks, and saving coin change. And I chose these because of the different sources that I found online. There was one source from frugallysuitable.com that said that she saved $30 a month and change, which amounted to $180 a year, which amounted to like $1,800 in 5 years. And I started saving mine, and I had my own example. And there was a source from the National Association of College Students that said that students spend an average of $600 on textbooks. And there was another source on a poll that was ran by a bunch of college kids that said typical students spend about $200 a month on food. And so that's why I chose the ways that I chose. So the first one I'd like to talk about is student discounts. And those are not limited to just food, because I use that for the food, and that's why I gave the example before about how much college kids spend on food. But there's tons of different ways to find student discounts. Me personally, I just Googled it. Or if you're going to a restaurant and you want to Google, or you want to research if that restaurant offers a student discount, then you can do that, and usually it will pop right up. I'll give you a personal example. I like Taco Cabana in Sherman, and with a proof of a student ID, they'll give you a 20% discount on food. So that's just one way to save money, and that's not limited to food. That goes beyond, like, some retail places offer discounts, things here and there. You've got to research, but there's just so many that I could not cover today. And so the next thing that I would like to talk about is buying and renting textbooks, because the first year I spent a lot on textbooks, and then by the second year here at Grayson, I realized that I saved so much. I saved about $300. And some professors, unfortunately, their courses do require the newest edition textbook, but if they don't, then I suggest you rent it. And if you don't feel comfortable renting, you can always buy it used. That's still a great opportunity. The biggest thing I see people save money at is selling textbooks. Some people like to sell. You can sell it back to Grayson sometimes, or you can sell it to a friend. Facebook has a Grayson County Book Exchange. I see people selling books on there all the time. But a lot of times they offer them for very low prices. And so I came across this very cool website called bookscouter.com. And what you do is, when you get ready to sell a textbook, they have a search thing, and on the back of your book you'll have an ISB number. It's usually just on the back on here, and it's about a 9 or 11 digit. I can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it's 9, but don't quote me on that. And you type it in, and what it does is it will compare a bunch of different websites that buy and sell textbooks. There's 20 of them, and it compares what they will take for your book from all those, and it gives you the best option. And a lot of those textbook websites will pay you. You can get paid by PayPal, or you can get paid by a check. And a lot of people don't have PayPal, I think. I got it actually when I started selling textbooks, but then I started using it for other things. The check takes longer, and that's why I recommend getting a PayPal, because you can switch it over into your account from there. But one textbook I was going to sell for $40 on the Grayson Book Exchange on Facebook. I ended up getting $90 from one retailer from that website. So it's just something to look into. But So just always look into those kind of websites before you sell it to someone, and if you can rent, always rent or buy used. It's very helpful. Unless you just want a new book, you go right for it. The last thing I'd like to talk about is saving your coin change or pocket change. And I know that's an everyday thing that someone can do. Tons of people do it. My dad does it. He's not in college, but I realized that once I got into college, I was spending a lot, and when you spend money with a credit card, it's just taking it off that amount. You're not really saving money by saving coins, you're just not spending it, so it's saving it. So what I like to do is when I get a check or when I get paid, I like to pay with cash, and I know a lot of people don't like to pay with cash, but any coin change I get, I'll put it into a jar and I'll save it, and my results were after 6 months I had saved $70, and that's pretty good if you ask me. So it's a good thing to utilize if you'd like to, and even further from there you could put that into a savings account, let it sit there, all your coin change. So those are just 3 ways that I found to be helpful, and I hope that it's helped some of you out or brought new light on some new ways. And so basically there's tons of ways. I can't explain how many different ways there are to save money in college, but always think about them because you can save a whole bunch of money doing so.